to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long-range three.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CO Sports Talk. It's mid-May. Summer is low-key here, if you know what I'm saying. Right now, this is episode 66. It is a great one. We are joined by a fantastic guest today who knows, this guy is a sports encyclopedia, so we are very excited to have him on. And we're excited to talk some sports because the NBA is down to 4, and we should break that down.
Yeah, facts. It's gonna be a good one today, boys and girls. NBA is getting to a great point in the season. 4 teams left, including our Warriors. So that's super exciting. We're finally back to contention after a few down years. But yeah, this is really hype, and NBA draft is coming up soon too. MLB is the season's underway. We're about 30 games in. So Giants just won. And so we waited till after the Giants game to record this. But yeah, Mike Yastrzemski, born the truth.
So yeah, we'll go all into it and we'll bring on our guest now. We are now joined by a very, very, very special guest. It is AARAV, goes to my high school, is the singles one in tennis, by the way. So shout out to him. If you're looking for a good tennis person to hit with, AARAV is the one. And he also is a big sports guy. So we're going to talk some NBA with AARAV. How you feel, AARAV?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me.
All right. We are down to 4. It is the Dallas Mavericks, the Golden State Warriors, the Miami Heat, and the Boston Celtics. 3 and 4 in the West, and then the East is chalk. Boys, what was your overall thoughts?
If you told me the Dallas Mavericks were going to be in the conference finals at the beginning of playoffs, I would have thought you were crazy. And especially once the Phoenix Suns went up 2-0 on them, I said it right here on record that it was going to be a sweep, and it did not go that way. And my predictions as a whole were terrible. I said Phoenix, Golden State, Milwaukee, Philly. So I got 3 out of 4 wrong. Pretty much as bad as you can get. So it's whatever though. I think it's a favorable matchup for Dallas. Although for Golden State, I think Phoenix has looked bad throughout the playoffs, but I just think Dallas can't hang with Golden State like offensively. They have Luka obviously, but they can't have those role players pop off every game like they have. And it's kind of interesting to see the pattern of the Warriors losing the season series to everyone they've played. They lost the season series to Denver, Memphis, and now Dallas, all 3-1. So hopefully that's like a pattern that can continue.
AARAV?
Yeah, I had same takeaway. I was pretty off on my predictions too. I only had Golden State here. But one thing that's looked a little bit worrying is the turnovers. Again, it's been a huge problem for them. And the fact that I get that the Grizzlies are a very good team without Ja, but it looks like a team they should have beat a little easier than having 2 close games and 1 blowout there towards the end of that series. So I think if limiting turnovers has to be the main thing for Golden State, and getting Kerr back, I think, is very good for that. So hopefully they're able to take it. I think they do have a favorable matchup, just unless Luka has like an insane series. He kind of reminds me of like the 2011 Mavericks with Dirk. So which is kind of scary, but I think you have, hopefully Gary Payton can come back, but I know Otto Porter's back. Draymond's there. So I think they do have that ability to guard Luka, and hopefully that should shut down the Mavericks offense.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like the Denver matchup with Jokic and Doncic. Like, they're going to pop off for 35, but as long as you can maintain and neutralize the other guys on the court, you should be able to win. And they'll have one game at home where everything's all clicking, kind of like the game we lost in Memphis. So I think the Warriors win in 5. I'm seeing a lot of Warriors win in 6. I think it could go to 6. But the way we're playing at home right now is just unbelievable. And to have home court advantage is really, really huge for this Warriors team, who's kind of struggled on the road this playoffs. They're 2-3. So, yeah, I think Warriors win in 5, but I can see this going to 6. Either way, I think Warriors going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the so-called NBA expert here, but I predicted these 4. I mean, come on now, give it to me. We can roll a clip, but I had Mavericks, Warriors, and I definitely had the Celtics. I'm pretty sure I had the Heat. Maybe I had the Sixers, but I'm pretty sure I had these 4.
I low-key remember you picking Dallas over Phoenix.
Yeah, and I definitely had the Warriors,
Yeah.
and I know I had the Boston. Miami is interesting because to me, nobody talks about this team.
Yeah, they're
Everyone,
underrated.
they're the 1 seed, but like the most like underrated 1 seed ever. Everyone's always like, they got Jimmy Butler and Bam. But what people don't realize is this team has Victor Oladipo and Kyle Lowry, 2 guys that have great playoff experience and have been there before. And in my opinion, they're dark horse. Obviously, they got the 2 guys that are off the bench sometimes, and Duncan Robinson and Hero. But their dark horse, in my opinion, is PJ Tucker. This guy has been on many playoff teams. We saw him in Houston for years, doing very scrappy player, draws a lot of fouls. And then last year we saw him win a ring with Milwaukee. So I think this team has a ton of veteran leadership and young leadership. I like this Heat team a lot, and they got a great coach.
Yeah, and I think PJ Tucker's kind of like the Heat's Jay Crowder. I mean, Jay Crowder was on the Heat a few years ago and they went to the finals. I feel like he's a guy who just is a veteran, knocks down shots, especially in the corner 3 specialist. And yeah, I think it's a good to have veteran presence, and they do have a really good mix of veteran presence and youth. And I really like the way this team is constructed. It's not a lot of it was through undrafted free agents such as Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, guys like that, as well as big time names like Jimmy Butler. Kyle Lowry's not what he was, but he's still a good player. Oladipo, same thing, comes off the bench now, but he's still good. And Bam Adebayo. I think no one's talking about this team. I hear more about Dallas than I do about Miami, and Miami is the 1 seed. So it's kind of interesting. I think Boston takes that series. However, I think it's in 6 or 7 because this Miami team is good and they'll have home court as well.
And no matter what it is, a mess of all 4 combinations of the NBA championship, NBA finals.
I only mess with Golden State out of the West, but that's fine.
Dude, Dallas, Boston would look to be a movie. Okay. Want to hear a take though, AARAV? I think that game yesterday for Dallas, amazing game. They crushed the Suns in Phoenix. Was actually worst for them when they won for their future rather than if they lost yesterday. And the reason that is now the Dallas Mavericks are going to go into the offseason like, we had a really solid season. We just got to give this team another year versus if they lost to Phoenix, they would say, we need to add another guy to help Luka out because this team could have been NBA champions if we gave Luka another piece. But now they're going to think that this team, was really good and they just got to give him another year. I don't know. That's my take.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the goal for these teams is always getting as far as they can. So I'm not sure how true that stands. I think at the end of the day, if they can get further in the series, it's better for them. And I think it's up to their leadership to decide at that point that they should know that they're still not good enough to beat some of these best teams in the West and the East. And they should still continue to unless they win the championship this year, they should still have the goal of rebuilding because it took Luka having some of the best games of his career to beat that Phoenix team. So if they're able to realize that, I think they can still get the winning this year while also having the foresight to continue to develop their team, hopefully add another piece, somebody to replace like what we thought Porzingis could be.
Yeah, about that. When I first saw that Porzingis trade, I was dumbfounded. I was like, what are they doing? They obviously don't want to win. They're taking away his duo. And then surprisingly, Spencer Dinwiddie comes in and performs super, super well. And now him along with Jalen Brunson are kind of like Luka's sidekick in that backcourt. So I thought that trade has worked out very well for the Mavericks, which has come to my surprise. But yeah, I mean, Casey, I think it's true to a certain extent, but it's not like RF said, like they want to go as far as they can anyway. I think they're not dumb enough to know, like, I don't think it's a championship team right now. I think they're the least likely to win the championship out of these 4 teams. And I think they'll realize that once they either lose to Golden State or lose in the finals, that they need one more piece to get over the edge. I mean, these front offices are smart, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Mark Cuban will go for it too. He's a very aggressive guy. So.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from though. Like they might think that, oh, we can make the conference finals with this team and they're young, so let's give them another year. I see where you're coming from there.
All right, so let's now all go around and say our finals and who wins it all, and say like how much they win by. So I guess I can go first. I like the Mavericks in 7 to beat the Golden State Warriors. Yep, and I'm be rooting for the Warriors, but I like the Mavericks in 7, no bias, and I like Heat culture in 5 to beat Boston. I like Heat culture versus Dallas, and I like Heat culture to win it all in 7 games. You know, just shades of Ray Allen. Bang. You know what I'm saying? Just like the fans in the white shirts, Heat culture, gonna win it.
Okay. I have the exact opposite. So I have I have Golden State, Boston. I have Golden State in 5 and I have Boston in 7. Boston will be tired going to the finals. I got Golden State in 7 in the finals.
Yeah, I have a mix of the two. I have Golden State in 6, and I have Miami in 6, and I have Golden State taking in 7. I think that Miami roster has too much depth with all the way from Butler to Oladipo to a 6-man of the year Tyler Hero. So I think they get it, but the Warriors take it in 7.
I mean, I low-key messed with that pick. You know, I'm maybe just trying to be different here, but like I could see the Mavericks winning. I'm either on the fence. It's going to be a 5-game series or a 7-game series. It's not going to be a 4-game or a 6-game series. So either the Warriors are going to gentlemen sweep the Mavericks or the Mavericks are winning in 7. It's just a fact. It's plain and simple. This game will not go 6. I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah, I can see this going 7.
Yeah. I mean, if the Warriors fans in the stadium gets the strength and numbers, the shirt that Ara's wearing right now, maybe they could win. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Arav, what playoff game were you at when you got that shirt?
This was actually the last game for the Oracle. Warriors versus Clippers. Game 6.
You know what would be cool though, actually? Warriors Heat. I like that are a little, you know, the early 2010 to 2015 was the Heat dominated, and then 2015, like 2019, the Warriors dominated. So this decade kind of gets a little
Facts. If only we're playing the Spurs in the conference finals.
Yeah, exactly. That would be. And well, the Mavericks are pretty good with Nowitzki.
Mavericks were good back then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they won a chip, but
yeah, these 4 actually all have good history. But yeah,
a Heat Dallas rematch would be kind of fun.
Oh yeah, it's true. Just completely different teams now.
yeah. But I'm glad we don't have the Cavs here or the Raptors, and we got some new teams. So there you have some NBA, and let's move on. NHL playoffs. You know, we're both kind of casuals NHL wise. However, I've been watching it. The first round is complete. The Colorado Avalanche look legit, Oliver. They swept the Preds. And then St. Louis Blues as well look solid. Minnesota Wild, probably not the best prediction by Luke Maxwell.
Yeah, it probably wasn't, man. They lose first round to the former champion St. Louis Blues. And he did predict that the Maple Leafs would choke, and yet another loss for the Maple Leafs, man. It's getting ridiculous at this point. I feel like they never win. But yeah, I mean, I was rooting for the Bruins. They lost to the Hurricanes, and
yeah. So
my prediction, I didn't say it, but it's Avs versus Panthers. So the 2-1 seeds. I think the Avs win though. I think they're just dominant.
Yeah,
I know you're a big Calgary Flames guy though.
Yeah, so last night, Game 7, Calgary Flames beat the Dallas Stars. Joe Pavelski, that was a great game. I've always liked the Calgary Flames. And the Edmonton Oilers and Calgary Flames are the 2 Canadian teams left. So at least one Canadian team will be in the Final Four at least. Both of those teams 1-7. So that was great for them. And over in the East, Florida Panthers looked good. They beat Ovechkin and the Capitals. But the Tampa Bay Lightning, I mean, that team, they tweeted after they lost with the best record in the entire NHL, and they got shocked by the 8 seed. They tweeted, "We are sorry, fans. We didn't mean to let you down." And they're 17-0 in the playoffs since that. I mean, they've just been a wagon ever since, winning 2 Stanley Cups in a row, winning the Stanley Cup last year, and now they beat the Maple Leafs. So heartbreaking. I mean, this team, amazing fans. And I think we had this conversation literally a year ago. They lost, and they keep losing. It's just unreal. And then the New York Rangers winning in 7 along with Carolina. So really good first series.
And the Rangers came back from 3-1 down, man. That is a 3-1 comeback. And so now we will call a common guest on the show, Luke Young, big New York Rangers fan, to talk about the Rangers. We are now joined by big New York Rangers fan, Luke Young. And Luke, I mean, what are the emotions after being down 3-1? I bet you're pretty devastated to coming back and winning that in 7.
It all started at game 1. Went to triple overtime, but in the third period late, there was a controversial call, and we would have won the game, but they didn't count our goal. So we fell 0-1 in the series. We bounced back 1-1. We lost 2 away. So we were down 2-1, and then we won 3 consecutive games, all nail biters. We were losing every game in a period of time. Just like I think I read a statistic there had never been a 3-1 comeback in the NHL Stanley Cup playoff era. So it's just
Really?
No way.
very no, I don't know. It was an amazing comeback, and some of these guys just played out of their mind. It was crazy. I think game 6, I was at my friend's Will Rowell's house, and they go down 0-2, and it was so frustrating that I couldn't watch. I had to take a break for 15 minutes, and I walked back in, and they're tied 2-2. So there was, there was a lot of frustration, but, just coming back and winning the series is just outstanding. I've been to so many Ranger games, and they've come up close so many times. I went to the Eastern Conference Finals game 7, I think, in like 2012 or something. I don't know. I used to go to a bunch of games back east, and my games are up. And I really developed love for the team, and the Rangers, man, they did it against the Penguins.
Yeah, man, they did it against Sidney Crosby and company. Respect and good luck to the Rangers the rest of the way. Thank you for calling in, Luke.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Facts. All right, so there's some NHL. I officially like the Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just not going against them.
You literally cannot go against them. They're OP in the playoffs, bro.
Like, I hate to be chalky Charlie, but I'm going with the Avalanche versus the Lightning.
Okay. I mean, I already told you my prediction. It's even more chalky, but it's all fine. It's fine.
Give me Flames Rangers if we're feeling fun, though, yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Flames Rangers.
But yeah, a little Canadian action. All right, but there we have it, boys. A little NHL talk, and we'll talk about some NHL next week.
All righty. So we are now looking at the California Central Coast section baseball rankings, high school. I attend Palo Alto High School. Not to give too much away. Don't come find me. But most of you guys know that already. And so, we're third in CCS, but don't let that fool you. We're still a good team. 24-5 in the season. A little bit worse competition than everyone, but we do blow out the competition that we do play. We've had multiple 20-run victories. So, man, we're a solid team led by senior Henry Bolte, Texas commit. Xavier Eskert, been out with a concussion, but he's coming back soon. Arizona commit. And then pitching from Sam Papp, Danny Peters, Josh Donaker, Rowan Felsch. So it's a very solid team all around, not to mention Charlie Bates, too, Stanford commit. But, I'm not here just to talk about Palo Alto. We got St. Francis, very, very good team, one of the best teams in the country, as all of these teams are. They have a Baylor commit pitcher who is like a .18 ERA last time I checked. He shut out Pally. They won 4-0 when they played us because he was on the mound and no one could hit him. The only person who hit him was Henry Bolte, and that was an infield single. So, because Henry Bolte has the fastest dude I've ever seen in person, he makes the base pass look like they're 20 feet. And so, but Elias Duncan, me and Casey played with him in Little League, and it's really cool to see him succeed. So shout out Elias. And then Valley Christian, they're a really good team. Lots of studs on this team. But they also beat Pally. So there's the reason Pally is below them. That game was 4-1, I think. Or I don't know.
So at 1, as you said, St. Francis. So by the way, for all you guys wondering, Wednesday, the CCS is going to release the divisions, and it's like football for CCS, not like basketball. So what that means is for baseball, it's not by school size or anything. It's basically just 1 through 6 divisions and the best teams. So hypothetically, the best 8 teams are going to be Division 1, and then the lucky 9th best team will be the 1 seed in Division 2. So these 8 teams will most likely, this is state, but the 8 teams in CCS will obviously be Division 1, and the 1 seed is going to be St. Francis as they won WCal, and they're led by Elias Duncan and many senior pitchers. VC is very solid, and then Palo Alto High. Those are the big 3 right now. Pali High looking to be a public school to win Division 1, and the championships Division 1 through 6 are all at the San Jose's Giant Stadium, which is very cool. But Palo Alto, as you see there, that's just ranked 17 in California and 3 in CCS, is obviously led by Henry Bolte, who could be a first rounder, probably a second rounder, is committed to Texas. This kid has been very solid. And, when I was in 5th grade, I remember going to Palo Alto Little League Championship, and he hit a bomb on the very first pitch of the at-bat of the entire championship. And I knew that kid was definitely special. And look at him now. He'll probably go to the MLB. So Palo Alto High also has very good pitching in Sam Papp and Danny Peters. Could be solid. Bellarmine, Midi, Cathedral, all WCal schools minus Pali. And then you got another public school representing Palo Alto's league, Wilcox. And then at 8, probably the last seed in Division 1, will be Caramont, who won the PAL, which is my school, Sacred Hearts League. So, yeah, there you have the 8 probably. And then they may just put Sarah in, even though they have an awful record. But WCal is such a strong league for baseball.
Yeah, and watch out for this Wilcox Chargers team, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're probably being D1, right? But if you look at their scores against Pali, their pitching is really good. We did sweep the season series, I think 3-0, because we played them twice. Then we just played them in the league championship and won 4-2. But they allowed 4 runs, 3 runs, and 3 runs again. Yeah. So this is actually a pretty good team. If they can generate offense, they'd be better. But their pitching staff is nasty. They have this one left-hander on the team.
I can totally see CCS putting Sarah in over them just because they love WCal.
They have this one nasty left-handed pitcher committed to San Jose State because they put a 15. They had a pretty close game against SHP too. SHP put a really good fight against them. So respect. 12 runs is really good. And they've been really close against really good teams. So I think this is a team out to watch out for. But yeah, you're right. The WCal bias may show.
Yeah, and we'll break it down next Sunday too, when we'll have the full brackets released. But yeah, in some of the lower divisions, watch out for Half Moon Bay, maybe to win 3 or 4, maybe even 2, whatever they're in. Half Moon Bay won the PAL Ocean. Very solid team. They have another MLB prospect with them, and Jared Medham, who single-handedly won them the league championship on Tuesday versus SHP or Thursday. So yeah, there you have some baseball, high school talk, and we'll talk about it next Sunday.
Yeah, most overrated team is Los Gatos too. They're trash.
Here we have the D1 men's tennis tournament.
What?
Oh, the Elite 8 is set. TCU, Kentucky, Baylor, Tennessee, Michigan, Ohio State, Virginia, and Florida. As you can see, the Southern schools dominate in men's tennis.
Where the 1 seed
made a great run, but they lost to the 3 seed Baylor last Friday. Oliver, who do you like to take home the win? I mean, Florida, can they defend their crown from last year?
Sleeper I got is probably, can you scroll up a little bit? Baylor, man. I mean, Baylor, they're good in every sport. I don't I feel like TCU's got to be the favorite at this point. And I like Florida as well, but I can't lie. I haven't watched a lick of college tennis this year. So I'm just talking on my ass right now, but let's go with Florida to win it all.
Yeah, love that pick. I mean, the coach's son is the best player on that team. Great coach there, who's a freshman last year, did it last year. But I like Michigan, Florida, Baylor, and TCU. I like Baylor to beat Florida and then to beat TCU. I think Baylor is really solid. They beat TCU in the Big 12 championship, and they're hot right now. So I like the Baylor Bears to win the NCAA championship for men's tennis. We'll keep you all updated.
Thanks. All right. So here you have it. This is the top 25 teams in college baseball this year. No surprises at the top. These Tennessee Volunteers have been great all year. I mean, they had some win streak of 20 something. They've been unstoppable. They have Ben Joyce, pitcher, who throws 105 miles an hour, hit 105.5 miles an hour, fastest pitch in college baseball history. So yeah, that they have that going for them. And then Oregon State looks really good. VTech, Stanford, who started off terrible. They were like 1-8 in conference play, but it really bounced back. And a team that was up here and is no longer up here is Texas Longhorns. They're down at 22 now. Started the season number 1, I believe. So really fall off for a really big fall off for Texas, but they have a whole wave of good recruits coming in, so they should be fine. But yeah, these Volunteers look good, man. And if I had to pick who's winning Omaha, it's got to be them because they've looked unstoppable.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm just excited. I love college baseball because you're on summer break. You get to watch the regionals. And if you win your regional, you go to the super regional and then Omaha. So maybe Stanford will host a regional and a super regional this year we can go to since we're close to the area. And yeah, any dark horses, Oliver, that you like maybe to make Omaha because in baseball, we see the smaller schools make it all the time.
Yeah, man, that dark horse for me would be UC Santa Barbara. They get pretty much solely California commits, a lot of underrated California prospects. Starting second baseman is Xander Darby, who is a Pally graduate. And their one of their catchers is Aaron Parker, who is one of my family friends.
What's out there?
And he's I went to Los Altos High. He's a freaking baller. He would play more if it wasn't for stupid like seniors getting, I don't know, but he's better than the catchers above him. And yeah, so I really like this team, man. This team is ultra talented. And they're not ranked, but I just want to shout out Oregon too.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. I like this Cal Poly team too. They have some underrated players. So we will break down the regional brackets when it comes out. And yeah, there is your college baseball updates. And we've covered a lot of sports.
All right, so here are the MLB standings. We've gone to all levels of baseball. We didn't quite hit Little League, but shout out Victor Hernandez for throwing a perfect game for Bike Connection. That's a scary team, man. I'll be at their championship when they inevitably make it. So yeah, we'll show you the American League first. Yankees 26-9, best team in baseball so far, along with the New York Mets. So we might see a Subway Series in the World Series. Who knows? That's the early consensus. Yeah, that would be dope. Yeah, Red Sox was terrible. I might lose my $50 because I said that if the Orioles don't finish last, that I'll give some $50. But I think the Red Sox will start to heat up. They have too many good players not to. And the Blue Jays, Casey, who we both predicted in the World Series, have not been stellar. So that might be a little scary. Twins finally turned stuff around. They've been looking good. White Sox mid. I thought Royals would be worse than the Tigers, but it's pretty much like the same. And the Angels have been atop the AL West, but they just played 2 more games than the Astros, so it's not really fair to assess. But they have been the best team in this division so far, in my opinion. And the Athletics, after their hot start, have kind of cooled off. And the Rangers, after their slow start, have kind of heated up a bit. The Mariners fell off a bit. So, right. Yeah, any general thoughts on this American League so far? It's kind of playing out different than I originally thought.
Yeah, obviously the Blue Jays aren't as strong as we thought. I'm not surprised whatsoever about the Astros, who continue just to be good no matter what. They just traded for Mauricio Dubon, our former Giant, so that was obviously bittersweet for us. Hopefully he gets some PT there, though. And the Angels look to actually be solid this year. What a moment that was. Anthony Rendon hitting home run lefty. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was a really fun game. No-hitter by Reed Detmers, too.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of no-hitters, going to the National League, man, yesterday.
Yeah, go to the best league in the MLB, and that's National League. So let's start up with the NL East. The Mets have been looking phenomenal. They just lost the series to the Mariners, though. But other than that, they were the last team to lose a series. The defending champs Braves, man, you had them winning this division. What are your thoughts on them? And I mean, they started off really slow. Acuna just came back, so that's something. But losing Freddie Freeman was big, man. This team doesn't look the same. Starting pitching, Max Fried has looked great. Kyle Wright has looked great. Charlie Morton, meh. But do you think they'll figure things out?
Yeah, I do think the Braves will get it together. Obviously, the Mets have been the best team in probably all of the National League. However, I think the Braves will still make the playoffs, probably as a wild card at this point. I don't think they're winning the division, but I think they'll pass the Marlins and Phillies once they get it together. Obviously, Ronald's coming back. And the Mets, I mean, they simply have been really solid this year. We saw them when they played the Giants. they're just really good. They can pitch, they can bat. I mean, they're a really good team. And in the NL Central, I mean, this one has the worst team in the MLB. The Reds got a no-hitter on Sunday. Hunter Green, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was in high school. This guy's the big thing. It looks like he actually is. Got a no-hitter, but they still lost.
Yeah, I think pretty sure he threw 8 innings and threw 8 no-hit innings. And then the reliever came in, threw another no-hit inning, and they still lost 1-0. So that's the 2022 Cincinnati Reds for you. But look, they're 6-4 in the last 10. They're trending in the right direction. Before this if you take away those last 10 games, they were 3-22. So, there's a few things trending upward for the Reds. But the Brewers, I felt like after the Giants beat them in that 1-game series, they've kind of exploded. Like they were like 6-7 at that point, and now they're 23-13. So they've kind of found out the true potential. And this team looks really dangerous, man. And then on West, man, this division is ridiculous. If you told me the Diamondbacks 35 games into the season would be over 500, I would have called you crazy because the roster is not built to be over 500. And the Rockies are finally being humbled. The Giants swept them. Might sweep them again. They took game 1 today. And then this is a bloodbath at the top, man. Giants have the most losses, so they are a game back from the Dodgers. But I'm not really worried. I think this will kind of sort itself out. I think the Dodgers will finish in first, and then Giants, Padres, Rockies, Diamondbacks. So, yeah.
All right, so there's some MLB talk, and great episode.
Yeah, so sorry it's a bit of a long one, but, I had fun today, so let's do it again next week. Peace.
Yes.